Okay, good afternoon. Hi, folks. It would be good if you can turn on your camera so that I can take a look at you. If you don't mind, you will feel comfortable about it. But anyway, yeah, just to let you know, I'm actually the deputy head of natural sciences and science education. So this is our department. So in our department, we have actually two groups of people. In terms of professor, we have professors who are more in sciences, means the physics, the chemistry, and the biology. And then we have professors who are actually doing the education aspect, also in physics, chemistry, and biology. Okay, so that is why in terms of this program, which is either be it a master or PhD by research, you can either do in education or you can actually do in the content or the sciences, which is physics, chemistry, and biology. So well, so basically what I just want to keep you posted is that if you are interested, actually you need to go to our website. And then in our website, maybe, I don't know, how many of you actually have already, look at our website and are familiar with it? Maybe let me end show here. Let me show you. Can all of you see this? So this is actually within our NIE website where we actually have a list of all the professor present in our department. Like for example, Prof. Rashdeep. Prof. Rashdeep is a person more in plasma, more in fusion, the physics area. So we have the different prof, and then this will be the scope of their research. So please go through this. And then like for example, some of you who are actually interested in education, we also have the some of the education one. But I think, wait, let me see. Yeah, over here. Like for example, we have the head of my department is actually Prof. Teo Tang Wee, and she's in chemistry education. So we have different people, maybe doing science inquiry, technology-based learning. So this is the education aspect. So we have prof who are also in this area. So it is good that you go into this website, look through some of the faculty members that we have here, and in terms of their research and whether it align with what you are looking for. And if you do find that it align well, then I think it's important that you communicate with them. So write to them, send them your CV, and then ask them what's the prospect of for you to work with them, and then they will give you the necessary advice. After they have given you the advice and you find that, oh, great, we can work together, then you have to start writing a proposal. Okay, so what do you want to work on? So it's actually good, you get the some advisors from them, and they will also provide you some readings, some recommendation. So it's very important for you, to touch base with them, because once you touch base with them and you feel that, oh, this is really, somebody I can work with, and that this is an area that I want to, be in, then I think then you can now consider applying to NIE, because the application part will not be fulfilled until you have a proposed supervisor. Means you already touch base with, a prof within our department who is willing, to take you in as a student. So that is very important. Then after that, through the application, we will then look at, your whether you have the necessary background and so forth, and then we can admit you. Okay, so I think the important thing is where you graduate from. Okay, what's your degree, your undergrad degree, in what area, and then have you done research? That's very important, because as you should see that this program is about PhD or master by research. So research is actually the main focus, although yes, you do have some coursework that you need to fulfill. Okay, so that's why it's very important that we will need to go through your background to see whether, scrutinize it a bit, to see whether you have the background in research, whether, you have written papers before, so you do have any publication or even conference paper. So these are some criteria that we look for. Now then, once we feel that, yes, it is possible for a person of this capability or quality to be admitted, then we will send you an email and ask you for an interview. So during the interview, we will also find out more, because I think it is not just through paper or publication, sometimes we need to communicate it with you. We need to know whether you can speak English. If let's say English is not your mother tongue or the background you're from. So I think that's very important because NIE is English based. So we also need, to communicate with you and to see, whether you are suitable, to join our department as a PhD or a master student. So these are the things we look for. And then we will also help you out. If let's say now you need a scholarship and you have the credential and the criteria to, fulfill. So we will also help you out but we need to speak to you. That's why you need to go through such an interview. So after the interview, and if there'll be a committee set up to interview you. The proposed supervisor may be there, but usually taking more of a silence role. Especially if you know them, then they might not be able to, to say very much, because I think we need to be fair to everybody. So then with that, we can then submit to NTU and NIE NTU, and then to grant you a scholarship. Okay, so these are some of the things that I'd like to share with you. Yeah, so do you have any question? Hi, are you there? Yun Man, you know me, right? Are you there, Yun Man?
Yes, Prof. Chu.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Long time no see.
Hi.
At least I still
Yes.
remember you
Yes.
graduated quite a while ago, huh? I'm so
Yes.
happy to see that you're interested in our program. Okay, good. Yeah, so I think the important thing is for you to ask questions if you do have any. But so that at least we can help you out. But do bear in mind that NTU, NIE, we stand quite I mean is well recognized, and that is why you will have to go through a bit of scrutiny. So because we need to make sure that we get the best student also. So this is for your information. Okay. Yeah, so but don't feel shy about it. Yeah, just try. Life is about trying. So we never know. So you try, and even if you don't get it, but we have students who try but never get it, but then they'll try again. Because you will actually have to maybe come back to us and find out, in what way you can improve on your proposal or things like that. Okay, to help you, to get a place in here to do a higher degree. There are also coursework that you will need to do. Okay, so just bear in mind that. But I did not share the coursework with you is because it changes, every semester. So we don't know. So depending on the student who come in and we feel that, oh, this student, maybe need more on plasma physics, then we will run a course on that, to help the student out. Or we feel that a student may need a lot more on statistics, then we may run a course, on statistics. So these are the possibility of, some differences for each and every semester. Yeah. So
Thank
how?
you. I
Any
think
any,
there's
any
a
question? Yeah.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
from Jade. Jade. Good afternoon, Dr. Chu. Will the interview be online or will this be face to face?
Sorry. There's a question about what, online
Yep.
or face to face?
The interview.
Oh, the interview. Don't
Online
worry.
face-to-face.
If you are a local student, we will try to get you into NIE to have the interview. But if you are from another country, actually most of our PhD students are from elsewhere, and then we will actually go through Zoom, using Zoom or Team, and then we will do this kind of online interview. Definitely we cannot fly you in. Sorry. So we will do it online. Yes. Then also in some cases, let's say your criteria is such that you don't have the background. Then how do we help you? So we may give you a test, okay? Because you don't forget, you will have to do your GRE. Yeah, you have to do a GRE, and then if let's say your GRE don't make to the mark, I think we need about 300 over scores, and then some of them, just missed by a few points. So what do we do? Sometimes we will just run a test, to further assure the authority that, oh, this person can do it and can make it, so we will also do that. So that there's also other things that can be happening other than just a interview. Yeah. Yes. Any other question? Yeah, just be aware that for this program, yes, as I mentioned, we have scholarship available, and that we have full time, we also have part time. But I think if you are from overseas, no, you have to do it full time. Means you have to come into Singapore and do it. But if you are our local student, Miss, like for example, Yunman is my previous student, who's also in the in teaching. So for those students who are actually local here, or they are working, let's say, in NParks and so forth, they might want to do it part-time. So we do allow such cases. Okay, so it really depends on the student, because some of them, they are working and they also want to pursue, a higher degree. So we will also allow that. And but do be aware that be it full-time or part-time, your candidature years are the same. So the max you can for PhD is 5 years, and for MSc is about 3 years. Okay, so these are the things that you need to be aware of. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. Chu. I think there's
Yeah.
a follow-up question from Jade. She's asking if you have any tips when writing the research proposal, if there's anything the evaluators are looking for
Okay.
regarding the proposal.
Okay, very good question. Okay, this is very important. That's why I told you that you must touch base with your prof, okay, that you want to work with. If you cannot find somebody to work with, then I would say that, it is not possible. It's no point applying. Okay, you need to find somebody to work with first, because we in the application form, they will ask you who is your proposed supervisor, and then they want you to show communication with the proposed supervisor, let's say through email and so forth, that you actually have touched base with them, you have actually find out from them what is the area. So they will be the one actually who will guide you in terms of the proposal. So they may ask you to write some things, maybe give me a 5-page description of some area, so they will communicate with you. So the most important is you cannot write something out of nothing by yourself. So don't ever try to do that. It will not work. So touch base with the prof that you want to work with, and discuss with the prof. The prof will be able to give you the guidance, okay, of if the prof really want you and want you to be the student, they will help you, okay, but not to write for you, but give you the guidance, tell you, what to look for, and what area would be a good area, to study on. And then after that, you will have to go and do your research, okay, and after with the research, they will write, and maybe even to show the prof that whether whatever you have written is good enough or not. I'm sure they will help you, okay, because this is very different from coursework, because here is you are going to work with the prof for the next 4 to 5 years. So it must be somebody who is willing to guide you. And I'm sure you also want to look for a prof, and you don't want to be just left alone and do everything by yourself. So try to find a prof that will at least give you the guidance. I'm not saying that hand holding, but at least must have a guidance that you will know what to do, how to do, give you that kind of important recommendation and advices. So these are very important, okay, so to look for to look for a good supervisor. Because if you go for a supervisor that got 10 students, then no time for you, then how at the end of the day you just have to solve everything by yourself? Well, then don't bear in mind that you only have that 4 to 5 years to get it done. Okay, so time is very critical when you do a PhD. Okay, so the first year you may think that it's honeymoon year because you have to test things out. A lot of things, usually for the first year, I will let my PhD student try things out. Okay, but after 1 year, then I will be like, okay, we have only like 3 to 4 years left. We better, be focused and, get things done. Because, and I must let you know that if you are doing PhD by research, okay, publication is very, very important. Conference paper are very, very important. So you must get the opportunity to go present in a conference. And if you get our scholarship, there will be money provided, okay, for you to attend at least one conference, okay, throughout that 4 years in NIE. So it is very important. So because it is only through attending conferences that you get to meet various kind of scientists or educators that you can touch base with, and then maybe from there you can find a research job from there, okay, a postdoc, and maybe if you are interested, I don't know whether you are more in the industry or you are more in the academic. This is the way you have to build up that kind of a relationship with different people. Yeah, so that is something very important. Yeah, any other questions? Sorry, because I don't look at the chat.
It's
I
okay.
whether
I can read it
yeah.
out for you.
Yeah, please help me.
There's
Okay,
one
yeah.
question asking for
Yes.
someone coming straight from a bachelor's without a lot of outside research experience, what's the best way to show you're actually ready for a PhD or a master's in research?
Okay, now the important thing is, are you talking about research in education, or you're talking about research in science content? They are very different. Okay, so if you're talking in education, I think there are certain requirements that you must have done at least a year of teaching. Okay, so it is not like I straight away graduate with my undergrad and then I want to go into doing a PhD in education. I think it is not possible, because when we talk about education, means you must be in that education environment, that at least you have taught before, you understand the problems, and that is why you want to do a PhD. Okay, so I think you can go and check the website. It is stated there that there are certain requirements, especially in education. But in terms of science type of PhD, yes, you can come straight. But I would say that if you have an undergrad degree, preferably, I don't know, because it depends on which country you graduate from, right? Like in Singapore, our student will have to do an honors degree. So other than the undergrad 3 years, they will have a 1 year, we call it an honors year, because that's a year that they also do a bit of research. So they may spend half a year, also doing a small project. But it's a research, and some of them are actually individual project. So that is why that project is very, very important. And if you can even publish, with that project, or attend some conferences with that project, I think that is a good sign to show that you are ready to do research, because these are things that you have to do, okay, to chalk up the your capability, to let people know that I have all these experiences. So I think you can use that in your application to show that. Okay, so if you ask me, if you come straight as an undergrad, if no background at all in research or anything, then it is a bit difficult, okay, for us to assess you whether you have this ability or not. So I think it's important, if you are doing your undergrad, make sure you do a project. And because even if locally we do have students, what they do is they will come and do our master but in science by coursework. And in a coursework program, okay, we also have a research component for them, to show that they can do research. Because whenever you do research, you have to do literature review, you have to read up, you have to write. These are the things that you have to show to us that you can do it. Because basically PhD is about, you have to do writing. If you cannot even write, then what can you do, So that is something to be aware of. Okay, unless you are going into engineering, then maybe writing is not such an important skill, but you will be able to, innovate, create, those are things that, they create some product, they have something to show. So there are different things when you are looking at different kind of a PhD. Okay, so if you are talking about science, you cannot run away from, especially if you're not doing theoretical science, you're doing experimental science, then you must show, do you have, the background of doing some research? I have used this equipment, I have collected data, I've done analysis, I've done this, or even, bioinformatics, I've done computing. There are things that you can learn other than, within your course scope. So I don't know. So if you ask me, you need to show your ability. So like the ability to talk also. So it's very important during, the interview. Can you show the ability to talk, to keep on talking, without stopping? Can you do that? But I'm talk sense, I'm not talk nonsense, okay? So I think this is an important thing, and you have to prepare yourself. So you have to, read up more, and then you have to practice. I mean, I'm teaching you, all these are the very important things. You have to keep on practicing, even before the interview. Think of, predict question. What are the question they're going to ask? Come on, nowadays you have ChatGPT, right? Just throw into ChatGPT, I'm going for an interview tomorrow. So, what are the things that the professor can ask me? So, you think about it, and then you look at, what kind of answers you want to give. So that will be based on ChatGPT doesn't know you. So it will not be able to give you the answer, but at least can give you the question. And then you think about the answers, because you only know yourself, what experiences you have, what you have done, and so forth. So if you ask me, yes, even if you do not have my master degree, oh, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I think you need to have a master degree. Am I correct? Yeah. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. Yes, you need to prove that you have done a master where possible. If you have not done a master, okay, if you have not done a master, I think it's important that you need to have very good GRE score. Okay, so that is very important, because I know that in China, we have a lot of Chinese students, and a lot of Chinese students, they don't even have an honors degree. Because I think their program do not have an honors degree. So I think it is very important that at least you have some publication. If you are just really basically graduate from undergrad, you need to have some publication, you need to have a good GRE score to help you, in terms of that. But for education, if you're doing PhD in education, then I'm sorry to say that you must have that experience in teaching. Okay, I hope I've answered you. I'm sorry, I talk too much sometimes. Okay, so let me know if I've answered you correct. I mean accurately or not. Yeah, or you have any further question about what I say. Hi.
Okay,
Yeah. Any
there's
further
another
question?
question from Jade
Yeah.
asking, she said that she's curious because she's
Mm.
planning to apply for an RSS scholarship. She was asking how she
Yes.
can increase her competitiveness for the scholarship. What criteria does she
Yes.
have to
Yeah.
strengthen
As I already
to show
mentioned just now.
evaluators? Yeah.
Yeah. As I mentioned just now, number one, you need to have a good GRE score. That's very important. Number two, you need to show to us, do you have any publication? Okay. Be it conference paper or be it, publication in journals. So these are important because without that, it is a bit difficult. But I'm not trying to say, no, without publication, you cannot get a scholarship. No, no. We do have students, no publication can still get a scholarship. But you need to prove to us, means during the interview, you need to show, that you are very, very good in that area. At least you know something. I mean, obviously not very, very good, because if you are so good at area, you already got your PhD, right? So no, at least you show that you have read up good enough, and then or you have done, some experiment, you have, done some research on it or written something. I mean, you just need to show something, especially during, the interview. If you don't have anything solid of any publication. Now we have taken in student with scholarship, even without publication. It is possible. Sometimes it also depend on your luck, because it happened that during that semester, the applicants may not be that strong, and then your chance can be there. Okay, so there's nothing absolute. Even you can have publication. I'm sorry to say, even you have good publication, but then it so happened that semester we have very, very good applicants. Then where are you ranked? So there are also problems like this. So there's no absolute way that with A you will get it. No, no, we can't say that. Okay, it really depends at that semester who are your competitors. So sometimes it can also make a difference. So we do have students without publication can still, get the scholarship. It is still possible. Mm. Yes. Any other question?
Not for now.
Okay.
If anyone
Yeah.
has any questions,
Well,
can just type in
maybe
the
can
chat
can you
or
also
just
let us
unmute
know
also,
that
yeah.
whether you're interested in education or whether you're interested in the content, the science content, so that is it possible or not to let us know? Can they put their hands up even if they don't show their screen, even they don't show they don't turn
Yes,
on their
they
camera?
can.
Oh
Yep,
yeah, it's
they
good,
can.
right? Can you click on
Can
the
react.
hand? Yeah, yeah, react, the react button, yeah. So that at least we know whether you're interested in education or whether you're interested in the content part. But do bear in mind, in terms of education, NIE now is ranked 8 in the world. So it is very high.
Jade mentioned that they are interested
Yeah,
in education, planning to do
education.
PhD in science education.
Science education. Okay, good. So the important thing is you must write to them. Yes, write to them, and then first of all, as I said just now, I show you, right, that is in our website, the research areas of this professor. So if you find somebody which you feel that you are aligned with them, then please write to them. It doesn't be one person, it can be a two-person, Don't worry about it first. I mean, it's normally that is you have to try a few, because you never know whether the person want to take you or not. So you try a few, and then you see narrow down to, whoever interested, then you can, discuss with them. Yeah. So yes, good to know. Good to know that there are people interested in science education. Any more question?
There's one question.
Yes.
A bit concerned about GRE since
Ah,
I'm finishing my honors here in the UK. Is the
yes.
GRE 100% requirement to start the application? I don't have a score as of now, so I wanted to check if I can still apply.
You can apply, but you can submit it later. But you have definitely have to submit it before we can make any decision. Without the GRE score, not possible. Yeah, you have to have GRE. Even our local student, okay, let you know, local means Singaporean. But because they didn't do their degree in Singapore, they did their degree overseas. Maybe they went to Cambridge, okay, and do their undergrad. Then they want to come back to Singapore and come to NIE and do a PhD. You still have to do GRE. We had one, we had one some years ago. He's our local, I mean, a Singaporean, went to Imperial, got a basic degree, bachelor degree in, I think it was in ecology in Imperial. So he did a master here with NIE. He has to have GRE also. So it is a must. Unless you graduate locally in Singapore, either from NTU, NUS, or SMU, and some of the other university, then you don't need to have a GRE. If not, you must. So yes, you can apply first, but then then you have to submit the GRE score. But actually, to be very frank, we are also looking into whether we can change this system or not. But it's still at the present moment, you still need the GRE score. Okay. So maybe in the future, you don't need. Yeah, we are looking into that. Okay. So as I mentioned, most important, you must communicate with the proposed supervisor. That is very important. Okay, so only when you communicate with them, then you know how to write your proposal and then how to, submit your application. Understand? And then do well in the interview. That's also another very important part. Yeah, that's all I want to say. If there are no questions, should we end this session?
Perhaps we can wait for a few minutes before we end the session, see whether anyone has any last questions.
Okay. Yeah. I will stay. So it's fine. It's fine. It's just that,
Yes.
yeah, I just want you all not to feel that you need to stay throughout this whole session. If you already feel that I have given you the information and you know where to look for, and you don't have any more questions, you can also leave. Yeah. So you have the choice. Yes.
Yeah, I just have one thing to share if you don't mind, Dr. Chu.
Yeah.
Our intake is open now if anyone is interested to apply for our January 2026 intake.
Yes.
Research programs application intake is until 25th June. Yeah.
Okay. 25th June. Okay. So at least you said a month. So remember, for this one, it's not like for coursework. You really need to touch base with the proposed supervisor. Very important. And you have to, if you are going to apply on 25th, latest 25th of June, right, for the application, you better start writing, you have to start writing. Because it's not just writing, you have to read, you have to make sure, and then you have to question yourself, if I write this, then if during the interview, you're going to question, because they're going to ask you about your proposal also during the interview. So it is also very important that you know what you are talking about and be able to answer those questions, because we will question you, during the interview about your proposal. And you must demonstrate that ability that is your work, and not somebody else or your proposed supervisor write for you one. No, cannot. You have to do it. Yes. Yeah, so actually now, presently in our department, actually every year I must say that we do have quite increasing number of students applying, and maybe it's because NIE now is well recognized as we are eight in the world, and especially in education. And also we do have a few of my colleagues who are very good in their research area, for example in plasma, fusion and stuff like that. So I think also in chemistry. So we have different people. And actually you can go Google Scholar, you can go and check on them. Okay, so from there you can understand, their area of research and if does it align with yours or not. So I think it's important that you do that also. So every semester we will have students. Yes.
Okay, in the chat, people are thanking you, Prof. Chu, for this informative session.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for coming.
Asking
Yeah.
for permission
So
to leave.
don't worry. Anytime if you have question, you can always email to us also. Yeah. It is not like just a one session thing. So if you let's say you go to the website, then you'll find, oh, suddenly I got this question, just email to us. Okay, so we will help you out. Okay, Ken? Any more questions?